भारत के प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की दूरदृष्टि और प्रेरणा से वडनगर में उत्खनन का कार्य पिछले एक दशक से भी अधिक समय से निरंतर किया जा रहा है और इस उत्खनन में हमें एक नगरीय और विकसित सभ्यता के दर्शन देखने को मिले। अनेकता में एकता, सभी धर्मों और विचारों के प्रति सहिष्णुता और वसुधैव कुटुंबकम के आदर्शों से संचालित भारत की सनातन संस्कृति की पावन भूमि ये वडनगर है। पिछले 3 दिनों के दौरान जिस तरह की चर्चाएं इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन में हुई वो अद्वितीय है। मुझे अनौपचारिक रूप से पिछले 3 दिनों में अपने अपने क्षेत्र के विद्वत वक्ताओं, भारत के विभिन्न भागों से आए हुए प्रतिनिधिगण और व्यवस्था से जुड़े हुए लोगों के साथ विचार विमर्श करने का अवसर मिला। मुझे इस बात की बहुत खुशी है कि सम्मेलन के आयोजन और व्यवस्थापन से प्रायः सभी लोग संपूर्ण रूप से संतुष्ट पाए गए। वडनगर के धार्मिक, सामाजिक, सांस्कृतिक, व्यापारिक और पुरातात्विक महत्व को सभी ने समझा है और सराहा है। इस सम्मेलन ने पुरातात्विक महत्व के शहरों को समझने के लिए एक नई दृष्टि भी दी। हमारे माननीय मुख्य सचिव श्री पंकज कुमार सर और माननीय संस्कृति सचिव भारत सरकार श्री गोविंद मोहन सर के सतत मार्गदर्शन के कारण एक महत्वपूर्ण और भव्य अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन के आयोजन में हमें सफलता मिली है। इस आयोजन के द्वारा हम लोग वडनगर को विश्व के मानचित्र पर रखने में सफल होते हुए दिख रहे हैं। 2500 सालों की अनवरत, अटूट और विकसित सभ्यता और संस्कृति का केंद्र गुजरात का वडनगर निश्चय ही इस विशिष्ट सम्मान का अधिकारी भी है। यह हमारा सौभाग्य रहा कि भव्य उद्घाटन सत्र में हमें गुजरात के आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री भूपेंद्र पटेल जी और भारत की माननीय संस्कृति राज्य मंत्री श्रीमती मीनाक्षी लेखी जी का मार्गदर्शन प्राप्त हुआ। गुजरात के युवा और प्रभावशाली गृह और संस्कृति मंत्री श्री हर्ष संघवी जी ने लगातार हमें प्रोत्साहन दिया और नेटवर्किंग डिनर के होस्ट भी बने। श्री एरिक फॉल्ट, श्री गाला जी, श्री सिंधे जी, श्री रावत जी, श्री अभिजीत आम्बेडकर जी, डॉक्टर आलोक त्रिपाठी जी, श्री रमेश ओझा जी, श्री मार्गी हाथी जी, श्री भाग्येश झा जी, श्री सोनवणे जी सहित कई बड़े नाम इस आयोजन में, इस सम्मेलन में हमसे जुड़े और ये हमारा सौभाग्य है कि इनकी भागीदारी से यह सम्मेलन संपूर्ण रूप से सफल रहा है। BHU, IIT गांधीनगर, गुजरात यूनिवर्सिटी, सिफ्ट यूनिवर्सिटी, अनंत नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी, MS यूनिवर्सिटी, अहमदाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी, डेक्कन कॉलेज सहित कई कॉलेज और यूनिवर्सिटी के प्रोफेसर्स और रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स ने इस सम्मेलन में बढ़ चढ़ कर हिस्सा लिया। इसके लिए मैं उन्हें धन्यवाद भी देता हूं और उनका आभार भी व्यक्त करता हूं। I express my sincere gratitude to my Chief Secretary, Secretary Culture Government of India, UNESCO, all my head of departments, Ernst & Young team, Deloitte team, my colleagues in the department, all speakers who have come all across the globe to grace the occasion, ASI, SCOM Media, who is responsible for organizing, supporting us in the event, and everyone who has helped us in organizing such a thought-provoking and immensely useful international conference at वडनगर। अंत में एक बार फिर मैं मंचस्थ सभी महानुभावों, आज के कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों, प्रेस और मीडिया के मेरे मित्रों और सभी उपस्थित गुणीजनों का एक बार फिर से स्वागत करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Um, so there is a saying, I think Professor Gala was mentioning he's from Amravati, so I just want to pick on that. There's a saying in South India, in Telugu, some of you are Telugu speaking or no Telugu, that if you cook rice in a pot, and if you want to know whether the rice is cooked, you just need to pick out one grain from that. And that is absolutely representative of the quality of cooking in the pot. To me, sir, Vardnagar is one such site. It's a complete representation of what our ancient heritage, what our ancient culture has been. And I think the beauty of the site is that it has everything from the esoteric to the mundane. You have religion, you have trade, you have art, you have culture, you have everything coming together. And I think that to me is a very, very interesting phenomenon which emerged over the last decade or so when excavations are happening and are still happening on site. Nature has played a very, very huge role in human evolution, and over millions of years, I think we as humans, we have learned to what I say the 4 C's. We either conquer nature or try to conquer, we try to control, we try to coexist, or we try to compromise. I mean, these are the 4 things we end up doing with nature. I think in Vardnagar what we see is a mix of all. The water bodies, the fact that it has been a seismic zone, and the fact that this has been a continuously inhabited site. This is an absolutely interesting example of how humans have learned to live with nature, yet coexist, compromise, conquer, control it, everything there, and continue as a habitation. I think that is a huge learning which we should be keeping that at the back of our minds.
As you are very well aware, this international conference on Vardnagar has been organized as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And this has been organized in collaboration between Ministry of Culture, Government of India and the state government. The rich heritage of India, and we are one of the oldest civilizations. It is a confluence of diverse religions, traditions, customs and highlights of which are today reflected and can be witnessed through the rich treasure of our art, architecture, monuments, food, language, etc. Before I begin, and this I will reiterate, I had spoken in the inaugural session also, I want to thank our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji from the bottom of my heart for his visionary approach towards laying greater focus on preserving and conserving built heritage across the country. Our Honorable Prime Minister has always shown keen interest in this subject and has strongly supported research in the field of archaeology. It is only under his visionary leadership and guidance that we could all confer today on this important subject of archaeology at a platform of international level. As a result of his guidance and support, we had a grand inaugural session here, of which most of you had participated under the leadership of Sri Bhupendra Patel ji, the Chief Minister of Gujarat, the Union Minister for Culture, our Youth and Sports and Culture Minister. Now, before I begin, I must thank my Department of Sports, Youth and Culture to organize this successful event. So many dimensions, the identification of the topics, getting the right kind of speakers, preparing the content, and so on and so forth. And I think all of you will agree with me that it has been a successful conference. Both in terms of its deliberations, in terms of its quality, in terms of its content, as well as in terms of logistics. After this formal conference will be over, maybe after this session, this is the last session, then a visit has been organized to Vardnagar. I invite all of you to come to Vardnagar. Just to see for yourself that you have discussed here since last 3 days. How many of you who are present here have been to Vardnagar earlier? Well, around say 20%. And how many of you knew about Vardnagar, of all those who visited there, to the extent you now know? So perhaps you know more now. So that is the success of the conference. So a deep gratitude to all the speakers, all the participants, and large participation of over 2,500 people, 6 themes on which you have given so much detail, and it has been successful. It began on International Museum Day. So lot of factors really contributed, and finally your active participation. For me, if I have to see what is Vardnagar, and if I have to speak in one sentence, what first comes in my mind is that Vardnagar as a town, it depicts a celebration of humankind's resilience through history. If you have visited, if you are going to visit, you have heard how a civilization would survive over such a long period of time against all variations of nature. And this is what Vardnagar has shown us, and it's a big celebration what we have Vardnagar today before us. So with these words, on behalf of Government of Gujarat, I thank you all for your active participation. Thank you very much. આવજો.
તમે અમારી ચેનલ પર નવા છો તો ખાસ મિત્રો આ ચેનલને સબસ્ક્રાઇબ કરી લેજો.